What's up, people? In this video, we are going to do this one, Fasting versus Alcohol, by none other than the snake diet wizard himself, Cole Robinson. This video, a little bit retro by internet standards, March 11, 2017, about 2.5 years ago. Wow. 2017 was already over 2 years ago. Where does the time go? Anyway, this was from Prashant H. Yo, Stu, hope you're doing well, man. I know this video on the surface looks super obvious, but I would like to know your views on alcohol and how you fit it into your lifestyle. Okay, I will tell you. And in fact, I'll tell you right now before we get into Mr. Snake Diet. I am not a fan of drinking alcohol very much. Not to say I will not have a drink. Not to say I will not occasionally drink until I am... I don't get sloppy, but like I will get, you know, whatever, 4, 5, 6 drinks, like not unheard of that I'll do that. Generally will only happen if I'm like at a dinner party or something, like a Shabbat dinner or something. If there's lots of wine, I might have several drinks there, just because I really enjoy that atmosphere, and it's just fun for me to drink there. If I like go out or something, I would actually prefer to stay sober, because if I do go out, well, you know, obviously, like when I was in Bangkok last year, occasionally a girl would come to the hostel who was like a little bit more of a party girl, and she would want to go out, and I could tell that there was like something between us. And like if we go out, I can be like, well, actually I'm not drinking, but you have fun. She'd be like, what are you gonna, like, you know, take me to like your rape den or something? Like, so anyway, you have to kind of drink, and I've definitely got hammered many of those nights. But yeah, like before we even watch this video, I will say that like with regards to fasting, drinking or alcohol is one of those things. Think of it like unhealthy food, right? Like over here you've got alcohol, you've got unhealthy food, you've got like sitting around doing nothing, like just being a slob in general, health-wise, and over here you've got working out, eating healthy, fasting, right? The more stuff you have over here, the heavier this side gets, the more you need to do over here to balance it out. Right, so that's the brief explanation. Let's watch the Snake Diet man himself.
Hey, fatty! In this video, I'm going to talk about fasting versus alcohol, and maybe teach all you fucking hypocrites out there to shut your fucking mouths when it comes to running your mouth about fasting being bad for you, when you're fucking off at the bar every weekend, puking your fucking brains out, getting all fucking drunk, feeling like fucking shit. Fasting versus alcohol. Okay, so you do have symptoms when you first start fasting because your body's going through withdrawals. People will get sick the odd time. They will get headaches the odd time, but guess what, you drunk fucking pricks? Fucking every time you fucking are hungover, you have a fucking headache. Every time you get super drunk, you're puking. And this is socially acceptable, this fucking bullshit. This is fucking probably the worst thing known to man. Known to man, this fucking drug.
Yeah, so alcohol generally, like, I've heard alcohol, when I read The Warrior Diet, Ori Hofmakler has another book, it's called Maximum Muscle, Minimum Fat. I had high hopes for the book. In my opinion, The Warrior Diet's still his best book, because this was supposed to like explain the science behind it. I don't know, I was left feeling a little bit let down. Anyway, regardless, in that book, I think it's that book, basically what he says is that, like, biologically speaking, like from a health standpoint, you should never drink alcohol, right? It should like never be consumed. It's actually that bad for you. It's like I think he said this or somebody else said this, where it's basically like little razor blades like flowing through your skin, just like fucking shit up everywhere they go. It's not good for you. There's nothing good about it, right? So like you shouldn't have it. Also, by the way, Snake Diet guy, for those of you who don't know, I'm 99% sure I remember him saying at one point that he's like sober, like he's going through AA or something like that, and he goes to meetings regularly, and he's like 6 years sober, 8 years sober, something like that. So like you have to understand that his views on things like alcohol and drugs are going to be more extreme than your average person, because from what I understand, I could be wrong, he has a history of, let's call it abuse or overuse or undisciplined use, whatever you want to call it. Like, used to drink a lot, used to do a lot of drugs. I don't really know. I don't really care. But I do seem to remember that being the case. So he is going to, like, you know, it's like if you have, if your whole family, if you grow up in a Korean neighborhood and Korean people are really mean to you your whole life, you might grow up and hate Korean people, right? Same thing, whatever. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying. That's number one. Number two, why do people need to drink alcohol, right? Like, why is it such a popular thing? Number one, it's legal. Number two, it lowers inhibitions. Number three, you can charge ridiculous amounts of money for it, which is how most restaurants make their money, is through alcohol sales. Number four, helps people get laid, right? Because like girls get drunk. When they get drunk, maybe they don't care as much about having, a one-night stand or whatever, or like whatever, having sex on the second or third date, whatever it is, right? But really, what it is to loosen you up in social situations. So it's kind of like a crutch, if you want to think of it like that. And I'll get into this more like later on. I want to watch a little bit more of this video, but basically, if you are able to go out, like at this point now, I'm able to go out to a bar, whatever, club, like even a dinner, and not drink and be fine and be fine socially and have fun and like not feel like I need alcohol to like loosen myself up. However, I will say that the benefit of drinking alcohol when you go out, in my opinion, is less that you get loosened up and more that the people who are drinking see that you are drinking, and that loosens them up because they don't feel like they're the only one. Nobody likes to be the only one, especially girls who want to drink, right? Like or it's rare that girls will want to just go out and drink and be the only one who drinks, right? They want to do it like you want to do it with other people, right? Same with any drug, really. Like you don't want to be the only one. So that's the benefit as far as I see it. And that's really one of the only reasons why I will drink socially, is if I know that my drinking will make other people relax, right? Kind of weird.
This leads to every fucking problem. Everything. Fucking lose your friends. Fucking lose your fucking house. Lose your fucking job. Lose your fucking health. Fucking get into drugs. Because this shit makes you fucking weak-minded. If you have one bad thing to say about fasting and you drink alcohol, you're a fucking hypocrite. Shut your fucking mouth. This is fucking the worst. I used to be a fucking piss tank. I haven't drank in 8 years. If I was still this guy, I would not be helping all you people fucking lose fat like crazy if I was still this fucking asshole drunk. If you fucking drink booze, shut your fucking trap, which is most of you. Because you know why I know? Because most people fucking drink alcohol. Very rarely do I run into somebody that doesn't drink, unless they fucking actually had a near-death experience or a massive fuck-up when they got off the booze. You guys all fucking drink, especially so the people that are fucking drinking and have the gall to run their mouth and say how fasting is bad for you. Shut your fucking mouth. You're a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what this was like in response to. If he like, because this is old also. This is almost 2.5 years old. So like, obviously homie's like way more mainstream now than he was back then. Has a lot more social proof and support. So I'm guessing back then fasting was much less mainstream. Snake diet was like, who's even heard of the snake diet? March 2017. So like, you asked me my opinion on this video. I guess asking like, is drinking alcohol okay, even though Snake Diet Guy says it's wrong? Here's the thing, and this is kind of the case with, as far as what I see with most fitness YouTubers and nutrition, whatever, is the advice that they give is good advice for people who are not absolute beginners, right? Unfortunately, most of the advice that is out there, most of the knowledge and information, is more appropriate to people who have a little bit of experience and self-control and discipline, yet is packaged in a way that this is what a beginner should do, because they, in the interests of our desire for a complete product and completeness in general, we want to have the entire picture. We want to know, is fasting good? We want to know, like, what's it going to do? We want to know all these scientific facts, when in reality, what does a beginner need to know? They don't need to know that much. They need to know, eat less, go to the gym, eat healthy food. That's it. That's all you need to tell them. You don't need to tell them any of this other shit. Like, you actually don't. And any additional, like, what do you need to learn? Really, what do you actually need to learn? How to do the exercises, blah, blah, blah. Like, guess what? You go to a gym, there are machines that you sit on, and the handles only move one way. Like, there's no, you cannot do it wrong. Really, you actually can't. Like, you have to adjust the seat. Oh my God, wow. You have to, like, pick a weight. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, oh no, 5 seconds of your day. Like, you need to watch fine, this video is only 4 minutes long, but like I know most of you guys are not watching only 4 minutes of YouTube before you go out and like live your productive lives. So again, this falls under the category of, well, I guess this is actually good for beginners, right? Because most of his audience is extremely fat people who need to be shocked out of their trance of like Coke, cookies, fried food, shit food. I'm lazy, I'm fat, but I don't actually acknowledge it or admit it because we live in a polite society and nobody's gonna tell me I'm a fat piece of shit. So then all of a sudden they come across Snake Diet Guy who like says this stuff and you know he lays it out straight. So like basically what I'm trying to say is if you are this is actually, I guess, a good message for beginners, right? If you drink alcohol and you're saying fasting is bad, like, yeah, you actually are an idiot. Like, if you drink alcohol regularly. Also keep in mind, he is from Canada, and in Canada, especially, I think he's from Edmonton, which, as I recall, is not like, it's not like a big city. Like, it's maybe a medium-sized city. Anyway, I think homie, like, lives out in the sticks, like, and Canadians love to drink also, by the way, and especially like the ones that live in the more like rural areas or smaller cities. There's nothing to do in Canada, so they drink a lot. That's my understanding. I'm not really sure. So you have to understand also that like back when he was a smaller channel, that might be who this message was for. Does not mean it's not a valid message, but like I said in the beginning, drinking alcohol is one of these things over here, like drinking alcohol, having cupcakes, whatever, like all this shit, right? Which is okay if you're doing all this stuff over here, right? But are you? You know, are you actually working out? Are you going to the gym? Does your body look good? Can you run a mile? Can you go run for an hour without stopping? Yeah? Go ahead, have a drink. Can you run for an hour without stopping and also see your abs and also bench press 200 pounds, for example, as a man? Yes? Go. Fucking have your 8 beers. Like, go party with the homies. Like, go have fun. Like, do your thing. Or are you like 80 pounds overweight and forgotten what a vegetable looks like and can't like walk around the block without getting out of breath? If that's you, maybe you shouldn't have any alcohol for a while. You understand? So it depends.
Is bad for you. Shut your fucking mouth. You're a fucking hypocrite. The worst symptoms you get from fasting are right off the bat. Right off the bat. And this is fucking natural. This fucking bullshit is fucking you being weak. You being weak, you can't handle judgment. This is your escape. You're fucking hypocrites. Your fucking little escape. This fucking is the biggest fucking problem. Biggest fucking problem known to man. Known to man. Right here. Booze. Booze. Liquor store in every fucking corner. You know, like, every single side effect from this is 20 times fucking worse than anything you'll get from fasting. Yet people will still run their mouth and say fasting is bad. That's not good for you. Yet I'll fucking go drink fucking booze when I'm pregnant. Or I'll go fucking drink booze when I'm all fucked up already. Because booze is so socially accepted. Ha ha ha! You got really drunk last week and ha ha! You puked all over your fucking friend. Ha ha ha! You ended up in the hospital and got your stomach pumped and you're fucking bragging about it for fuck's sakes.
Good point. Very good point. And like I said, keep in mind, he comes from a part of Canada where like drinking to excess is a common thing beyond the age of like 23 or 22, which is like, from what I understand in America, like, okay, you're in college, you might get hammered on the weekend, hit the beer bong, you know, puke, and like by the time you're out of college, like in the real world, you do that rarely, if ever. As far as I know, I wasn't living in America at that time, but like, well, even when I was in the army, like we were getting hammered on the weekends for sure. But that was, to be fair, those people were younger. I was 4 years older, so like whatever, same kind of mentality. Anyway, alcohol is an escape. Fair point. You know, like why? Again, like I said earlier, why do people drink? To become more comfortable in social situations because they're afraid of being judged. Like that's fairly accurate, right? And I think once you, I don't know if it has to do with age or maturity or what, but I think at a certain point, you stop giving a shit what people think about you. And I know some people like to have a drink, it's their drug of choice after a long day at work or whatever, and they want to have a beer, a couple beers or something. You know, is there anything wrong with that? Again, like I said in the beginning, it comes down to the balance, the scale, right? Like very similar to like you want to have ice cream after dinner. Okay. Are you working out? Do you eat normally healthy? Like, are you getting plenty of sleep? Like, are you hitting the gym? Okay, have your ice cream. No big deal. I guess the difference with alcohol is that because it's a drug, and you could make the argument that it's more, not physically addictive, but like you can become emotionally dependent on it. Even though I think alcohol is addictive because alcoholics go through withdrawals, you could make the argument that it's more dangerous than ice cream, let's say, because there is that component where you might get addicted and depend on it, especially if you're going out and being social a lot, right? And like I said earlier, the reasons why I will drink, well, because I'm not perfect, I'm not sober by any stretch of the imagination. I keep my like substance use under control, in my opinion. I don't let it like, I'm not like skipping out on making videos or like neglecting my responsibilities because of any sort of substances that I use. Otherwise I would stop, I'd like to think. But if you're going out on a regular basis, like what I said in the beginning, the reason I will drink if I go out is because I want the other person to feel comfortable that they're drinking. That's really what it comes down to. Like occasionally I'll go back to LA and I'll meet with friends or family friends or something, and they'll all want to drink. Like I have a very good friend, go to his house sometimes and works very hard during the week. On the weekends, not every time, but frequently on the weekends, what he'll want to do is invite people over, have a barbecue, and have like 10 beers, And sometimes I haven't had any drinks. Other times I'll have a few beers. Other times I'll have 10 beers, and that's just what I'll do that day. Because it's not that I really feel pressured into doing it. I guess I is pressured into doing it. I don't really need to do it or want to do it, but I want the other person to feel comfortable that they're not the only ones doing it, I guess. So maybe, is that weakness on my part? Maybe. But then again, if I'm going there specifically for the purpose to hang out with that person, let's say he's letting me crash this place for a weekend, what am I going to really do that weekend anyway? Last time I was back, I wasn't like making fucking 6 videos a day, so different example. Or for example, if I go out to eat with a friend, let's say from LA, who I haven't seen in a year because I've been away, or 2 years or whatever it is, and we go to a restaurant/bar, let's say, and we go, and that person, let's say that person offers to take me to dinner, right? Which happens from time to time. I have some generous friends, and they order a martini, right? What am I going to be like? Oh no, nothing. I'll have an iced tea, which I could do that. I'm well within my right to do that, but I feel like it would be not being a good guest if I did that, right? If I did not, what do they say? Drink with the drinkers, smoke with the smokers, gamble with the gamblers. I'm not sure what the rest of that is, or maybe it's just drink with the drinkers, smoke with the smokers. I'm also not snake diet guy, like paragon of like discipline and leader of the fasting movement in the 21st century. So, I'm like fake supreme Yalapapi commentator who is extremely flexible when it comes to his opinions on things. Yeah, anyway.
Bragging! When I used to drink, still this happens. Like, oh, they're pretty piled up. Those guys are pretty drunk. It's like they're bragging. It's like you're fucking cool. You're not cool. You're a fucking loser. You're a fucking loser. It's not cool. It's fucking a waste of fucking life. And people drink all the fucking time. All the time. You're always sick. Your liver's fucked. That's why people are asking me for help. Because your liver is fucked and you have type 1 diabetes because you're fucking drunk. And now you're actually relying on this thing to cure the problems that were caused by this thing, for fuck's sakes. Alcohol is fucking shit. If you fucking drink booze, shut your fucking mouth if you're saying that fasting's bad for you. Now if you're drinking booze and you think fasting's good, booze is still fucking shit, so quit. But if you're one of those fucking hypocrites that's running their mouth about fasting being bad, and you can fucking drink at all, you're a fucking hypocritical asshole. Shut your fucking mouth. Everyone have a great night, and get that.
Like, how can you not love Snake Diet Guy? Like, honestly, like, how can you actually like not appreciate every word that comes out of this guy's mouth? Like, when I started watching his videos, I've said this many times, but like, he was like, him and Vegetable Police were like the two catalysts that made me want to start making videos again, right? Like Vegetable Police, I saw how weird he was. I was like, oh, I don't need to be like a fake happy YouTuber to make videos. Great. And then I saw him and I was like, oh wait, fasting, you can actually like lose a lot of weight really quickly and it's sustainable. Amazing. And it like gave me two great encouragements to make videos again. And I've thought many times about, like, you know, because I'm hard on people kind of also. I take a different approach. He's like talking to the crowd, the invisible crowd of like fat people who are watching. I have fallen into this like commentary thing where I will like pick apart an individual who happens to be like famous or whatever. So a little bit different, but I watch his communication style, and like I wish I could talk like that. You know, like I wish I could, like, you know, when you're talking about a group of people that doesn't have a face or name, just like, oh, you fat people in general, you drunk people in general, you can be much more vicious, right? But if I were to talk this way about like an individual celebrity, oh my God, that's like borderline abuse. You know what I mean? But I said this in the beginning, which is that Snake Diet, like a lot of personal trainers, they think like this about their clients, about their overweight clients. It's like maybe not in such, I don't want to say violent terms, but in such aggressive terms, like you're a fat pig, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, maybe there's a little bit of that, but like really, go to 4chan, go to the fit board. Like you'll see, everybody knows, the fit people know, you work out, you eat clean, you don't eat shit food, and that's it. That's the secret to being healthy, to being fit. There's no magical rep scheme, there's no magical exercises, there's no like magical routine, like, oh, well, actually, if I do this exercise, and like 10 different exercises, and they list their whole routine, it's like, fine, let's say that's the magical rep scheme for you now. Like in 3 months, you're not gonna be doing that. You're gonna change stuff. Probably in 2 weeks, you'll be changing. Probably honestly, like you'll do that 2 or 3 times and you'll change. You'll add things, you'll change things. The human body, as dynamic and diverse as it is, you're not gonna only do the same workout. What do you think, you're gonna do the same workout for the rest of your life and you're gonna look like your favorite, like roided out, like e-celeb? Probably not. Anyway, in terms of like alcohol, like just to bring it back around, alcohol is a crutch to socially lubricate you, is what they say. I think that's fairly accurate. And I think that when you depend on it, I think that's ultimately negative, right? Like I talk a lot about pickup and how now I'm kind of like trying to get 1% better every day at doing pickup. Like I'm doing approaches now, and like, you know, before, like at first my approach was like, hello, right? Hi, just like walk past somebody and say, hi. And just walk by, that was it, right? And then after that I was like, hi, how are you, right? And then after that I was like, maybe walk with somebody and say, hi, how are you, where are you from, right? It's like a little bit. And then a couple months down the line, the idea is that like I will have like slowly desensitized myself to getting better. All the while I am trying to like make enough money to pay off my pickup coaching so that I don't have to try and reinvent the wheel and can actually get help from professionals. Anyway, the reason I bring that up is because as a result, or this is actually even before this, right? Like back when I was living in New York, I had a friend who was also very into fasting. This was like right around the time I found the Snake Diet. And we just coincidentally found fasting at the same time. And he is a very social person. He's very well known in New York and has an active social life, could go out every night of the week if he wants, walks into a room, everybody knows who he is. And I had the massive good fortune of being friends with him, very good friends with him somehow, because we had another mutual friend, whatever. Anyway, anytime he went out, I would go out too. And many times we would both go out fasting, right? We would go out at night, having fasted. We'd be doing a 48 or 72. Sometimes he would do longer fasts because he wasn't training. I was training, so I do shorter ones. But anyway, it was frequent that he would go out and he would not have eaten anything for 72 hours, yet we would still go out and have a good time with people, you know, to a party or something where plenty of alcohol being served, and we would be fine in a social situation. In fact, it even gave me the impression that socializing while fasted is actually easier than socializing after having eaten. Because any of you who have fasted before, you know that fasting puts you in, it gives you that killer instinct, you know, where you're not afraid of anything. I don't know what it is, hormones, something, whatever, but like when you fast and you don't have any food in your stomach and you haven't eaten for at least, you know, we'll say over 24 hours, like, you know, you've passed the point where you would have eaten if you were going to eat that day. Let's say if you're doing OMAD, once you pass that point and you're out and you're in a social situation, you have so much more energy. You're so much more fearless. You just don't care, right? And if you multiply that by 2 or 3 with each additional day, it puts you in a deeper and deeper headspace of, I don't know, confidence, let's call it, or just assuredness that you can handle whatever comes your way. And let's be real, like social situations, those are not, like from a survival standpoint, those are not hard to deal with. Like, most people are not going to be in a situation where they might get killed for saying the wrong thing. Like, really? Like, no. Like, you live in the Western world, that's not going to happen. All right, fine. You live in like a favela in Brazil. Okay, but is that you? Probably not. Anyway, love Snake Diet Guy's videos. If you guys want me to, I was originally afraid to do any of Snake Diet videos because I was like scared to disagree with him, just because like I have so much respect for him. But I found, fortunately, that I do not disagree with him on many topics. So if you got any more Snake Diet videos or other videos you want me to do, let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.